work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard.
Alright, welcome to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Joe Gately, with my correspondents,
John Kirby,
Brian Thompson,
and Mark Seisler.
Let's jump right into the action. March Madness this month. Got through our first couple of games yesterday and a couple the day before. So, first day impressions. Did anyone have Harvard beating New Mexico, the big upset of the day?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did. I believe Mark did too.
Yes. Brian, did you?
Nope. I didn't, Mark. Are you just finding this out?
Yeah.
So,
Move on.
that was just one of the upsets. Another upset was the Oregon Ducks over the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Did you guys have that?
Yes, I did.
Yep, I had that one.
Nope.
Any team that impressed you yesterday that you wish you would have picked or you have picked in your bracket?
Well, Syracuse winning by 47 was pretty impressive.
No doubt, no doubt.
Gotta hand it to Southern University, putting up with Gonzaga. Only lost by 6.
Yeah, that's really worrying to me as I have them in my Final Four. Gonzaga only beating Southern University by 6. Pathetic.
Yeah, I was definitely hesitant putting Gonzaga far in my bracket. I mean, they play in kind of a weak division.
Yeah, very weak.
So they haven't really played anybody that great this year. So I was expecting something to be pretty out there.
I don't know who else I'd put in from the Western bracket, though, because I think that Ohio State's going to be upset by Notre Dame.
I agree with you, Brian. I had Kansas beating Gonzaga. Kansas State.
Why do you think Notre Dame is going to upset Ohio State?
I just feel like they work really hard. There's a team with a lot of hustle and a lot of heart. And that's
They're
what
also really
matters.
big.
Yeah, they're also
Very big,
huge.
yeah.
I think they
That's what I'm
have
saying.
3 6'10" players.
Yeah, big in the heart, big in the body.
But do you think their guard play can match up with Aaron Kraft and company?
Yeah, they have a good point guard.
All right. What is your Final Four, guys?
Well, I have Duke, Gonzaga, Miami, and Kansas, going at it in the Final Four. What about you, Brian?
I have Duke, Gonzaga, Miami, and Georgetown.
Interesting.
You and I have similar opinions.
I have Louisville, Notre Dame, Western Kentucky, and Syracuse.
I have Louisville, Ohio State, Kansas, and Indiana.
Big Western Kentucky fan?
Oh, God, I love them.
Did you pick them just because Kentucky didn't make it?
No, but I was heartbroken when Kentucky lost in the NIT tournament to
First round.
Robert Morris in the first round.
Yeah, that was definitely a heartbreaker. Who do you guys have as your champions?
Duke.
Notre Dame.
And I have Louisville. Why do you guys both agree on Duke?
Well, I think they're really strong with Ryan Kelly, and Seth Curry is playing amazing. He just has such an arsenal of moves offensively, and I think they're really, coming together at the right time. Not that they had any weak spots other than when Ryan Kelly was injured. So
They haven't lost a game in a while, plus they have one of the best coaches in history, so they're going to be doing pretty well.
I agree with you guys, but don't you think that this year has been an up and down year for the Duke Devils? I know that they had the loss of Ryan Kelly, but they have lost to a couple ACC teams and eventually lost early in the ACC tournament. Do you think that's a cause for concern?
ACC is a really good division to play in, or conference, I don't know the word, but they're just very athletic. I know they lost to Miami, but that's a really good team too. That's actually my other team in the finals, but I mean, they play at a really high level of competition as opposed to like Gonzaga, who we were talking about before.
So you think the loss to Maryland early in the ACC tournament means anything?
Nah. Fluke.
And John, let's talk about your Western Kentucky pick. Why?
Well, I just think they're going to be a big upset. Western Kentucky, really tough team. They work hard, and they're from Kentucky.
What's their mascot?
Not sure.
How do you see them beating Kansas?
Easily.
Who's your favorite player on Western Kentucky, man?
Don't know.
They're all really good, right?
Yep. Don't have one, you know. They're just that
Big
good.
unit. Kansas is Paul Pierce's old team, though. Right?
Yeah.
Is that why you're rooting against them? Be
No,
honest.
but that's just another reason that Kentucky will beat them.
You do realize that a 16 seed has never beat a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
So.
Lehigh beat Duke last year.
that was 2 versus 15.
Oh, that was 2-15. My mouth knocks.
It almost happened with Gonzaga there, though.
And it's going to happen with Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky will win.
Are you guaranteeing a win?
I am guaranteeing a win.
You heard it here, 100% guarantee from John Kirby.
Yup.
Do you guys have, well, besides your upset, are there any other upsets that you guys called for, or
Western Kentucky.
we know? You guys?
Well, for one, I have Cincinnati beating Creighton. I think
I do too.
Cincinnati, when they're playing well, they're nearly unstoppable. Another one, I have Notre Dame also over Ohio State, and probably my biggest upset is Minnesota over UCLA. I think they just, they're a great team with Trevor Mbakwe. Yeah, I could see them going pretty far.
I have those as well. I also had the Oregon Ducks upsetting Oklahoma State.
As did I.
As did I.
Yep.
Still.
My big upset, I guess, is Ole Miss over Wisconsin.
Oh, I have that too, Joe.
I think that it's definitely a chance. It's kind of out there. That's why it's coming up. But I think that Henderson can really pull it out there. He's been talking a lot of smack on Twitter that I've seen, and it looks like it's going to be a big matchup. So President Obama's Final Four is Louisville, Florida, Indiana, and Florida State. Are they even in? Okay.
I think he needs to study his bracketology.
Yeah. What do you guys think about his picks?
Decent.
Yeah, it's kind of a little mainstream for me, but it is what it is.
I like to go deeper than that.
Yeah.
He was following the bracket, he was following the ones. He has a couple upsets, but don't we all?
Yeah. Do you guys have any predictions for today's games and this weekend?
Well, I think you touched on it. I think Ole Miss, Wisconsin is definitely going to be a battle. It could go either way, but
Brian?
I actually think Wisconsin's going to win that game. I just think that from what I've seen with them playing, I think they're a very solid team. And I think that they're going to be taking down Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's definitely a big game, but the point of March Madness is it's going to come down to the wire, and it's been proven that Wisconsin doesn't have that one guy who's just going to knock down a shot. It's kind of just
Knocked down a pretty important one once.
yes, but they don't have like a predetermined guy that you know that is going to demand the ball and want a chance to win it for their team. So that's probably why I have Ole Miss. I'm also looking forward to what Mark said, the Minnesota game against UCLA. I love to see Shabazz Muhammad go up against a big and powerful Minnesota team. It'll be interesting to do how he does on the national level with all eyes on him.
I think UNC and Nova is going to be a really good game. I got the Tar Heels winning that one.
I do too. I think that their number 8 seed, that's definitely, it was kind of shocking because I see them much better than Villanova, and they've been playing a lot better with, especially in the ACC tournament, knocking down all those threes as they went to a 4-guard around James McAdoo. So I think that's definitely makes them a lot better than.
Yeah, but I agree with that. I think North Carolina's going to win, but they're going to have to face Western Kentucky in the next round. So
Watch out for that mystery team.
I'm telling you.
All right. Moving on from NCAA to the big leagues, the Celtics almost beat the Heat, but couldn't hold on to the lead late in the game. Jeff Green
Oh.
was on fire with 43 points. Paul Pierce also having a pretty good night as well. What are your thoughts, guys?
Paul Pierce blew the game. Jeff Green had an outstanding game, 43 points. I think as good a coach as Doc Rivers is, I think he made the wrong call. Jeff Green had been on fire all night. I think he should have given the ball to Jeff Green.
Well,
You know they were expecting
Jeff Green had the ball, and he got a shot blocked.
And then
and they
Paul
were
Pierce.
expecting that, and
then Paul
LeBron
Pierce
playing
faded
D on
away
him.
and missed.
That
Okay,
play was designed, though, to get a quick shot so that they could recover and get an offensive rebound. Just the ball bounced the wrong way, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I thought takeaways from that game is Jeff Green has that potentially finally showed that everyone has been hoping for. This offseason, I'd like to see him get better going to his left, because you could see he was just, everyone knew he was going to his right.
I think that with Jeff Green playing the way he is, I think it would be a smart move for the Celtics to trade Paul Pierce before next year's trade deadline.
I just can't see him in a different uniform.
Yeah, Paul Pierce.
I could see it.
Paul Pierce played really well that game. He had 8 rebounds, 8 assists.
He was really close to a triple-double. It was,
So
as was Jeff Green, actually. That was
Yeah,
a big
Jeff
thing.
Green,
He was
yeah.
playing great. He even had like 4 blocks off LeBron. On
indeed.
It was all-around great game, but
Yeah.
that's clear.
Going back to Jeff Green for a second. In the last final 5 minutes, he was held to no points when the Celtics needed him and the Heat were coming back. Once they put LeBron on him, he could pretty much do nothing, but I don't know if that was just because he's such a great defender or just because Jeff Green was fading when time got down.
Well, they knew that Jeff Green was going to be getting the ball a lot from what had been going on the first 3 quarters, and they also doubled him off the drive, and that was a big thing. He was just getting by with quickness and finishing with the right hand.
Yeah,
and they shut that down.
When LeBron plays defense on someone like that, it's really hard to score. Only Paul Pierce can score on him in this situation. And then, it was just really tough. Also, it's too early to tell whether or not Jeff Green is clutch. That definitely didn't show it, but we haven't seen him in any other situation. So
I think he's earned a starting spot, even when we get KG back. I'm happy.
In place of Paul Pierce or in place of Brandon Bass?
Brandon Bass.
Oh,
Brandon Bass didn't do anything.
actually, in the first quarter, he was he was knocking down some open shots.
I would rather have Jeff Green than Brandon Bass starting. Do you disagree with that?
Well, I like Brandon Bass's hustle. I think he's the only hustle player on the team right now, other than Kevin
Avery
Durant.
Bradley.
Well, yeah, he is a hustle player. Yeah, but
His rebounding was impressive. They're rebounding as a team without KG, and Jared Sullinger's obviously gone. So
and Rondo used to get some rebounds.
yeah,
All right.
we'll see.
This is crunch time for the Celtics. With 15 games left, 7 of those are against teams with winning percentages above 500. 8 of those games will be on the road, where the Celtics have not been strong this year, where they've gone a mere 12-21. Can they pull this off and get a good playoff seed from this?
I don't think so. It's obviously possible. I just don't see it happening. Doc Rivers is going to play towards rest and trying to get that over a home seed in the playoffs.
I almost want them to be the 8 seed just to see him play the Heat.
That would be a good series, but
I'm
I'd rather them 4 seed where they
Yeah, I
have
see them
kind-
in the
I
4 seed.
understand that, but,
Yeah, but-
admit that you'd be excited if they were playing the Heat,
if they
taking them out.
if they were the 4 seed, then the next round they'd play the Heat.
I think
So-
that would be.
If they win.
Oh,
If
they
they
would
win,
win.
of course.
Yeah.
They,
I mean, they're clearly in the range probably right now from 7 to 4. 4 might be a little tough considering they have to play so many road games. More 5 or 6 in my opinion is what they're shooting for.
All right. Do you think the bench is too shallow for a long run into the playoffs?
I actually like the
Yeah.
bench right
I
now.
do too.
Jason Terry, Jeff Green. Well, before the Heat game, but
Jordan Crawford.
I love Jordan
There have
Crawford.
been a lot of contributors in the past few games.
Yep.
Can this team ride into the playoffs on the shoulders of veterans KG and Paul Pierce?
What?
They can ride on the shoulders of Kevin Garnett. Yep.
And Paul Pierce will carry them when the going gets tough, which it
Agreed.
definitely will.
I agree.
I think we saw Kevin Garnett was kind of slowing down, and then so he sat out a few games.
Well, he had the flu, the groin injury.
So then he came back and dropped in 20 points.
Not everybody's a fighter like Paul.
What?
Not everyone's a fighter like Paul.
Kevin Garnett's 10 times the competitor that Paul Pierce is.
It's your opinion.
I think I'd agree. I think anyone would agree with that Kevin Garnett is more intense than Paul Pierce.
More intense, not 10 times as intense. And intense doesn't necessarily mean a competitor.
You guys done?
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's move on to the Bruins. A boring win last night on the road against the Sounders. The team seems to be playing at a lackluster pace this past week. Do you think it's because of the amount of games played every week, or what?
Yeah, they're looking exhausted. Out there on the ice, you can see, everyone's, they're trying to give their best effort, but at this point, they're pretty tired. So
I agree with Mark. I think the schedule change to more games in the week is hurting them a little bit.
Yeah, the lockouts really.
It threw the whole season off.
Yeah, just threw it all off. What would you do to shake up the Bees before the trade deadline? Would you trade Horton, Lucic, give up some young talent from Providence?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I think Thornton is pretty much done here. In my personal opinion,
Yeah, Lucic on the front line. He's really supposed to be like an energizer with Sean Thornton or whatever his name is. He's supposed to just kind of stick up for his teammates, but he's just been playing kind of tentative and not as aggressive as we all know him to be. So I think it's time to part ways. All right, let's talk about the Patriots. The Tuck rule has been reversed or destroyed. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it was a good move by the NFL to get it out?
I never liked the Tuck rule. I liked it when Tom Brady did it, but other than that, I just thought it was pretty stupid.
Agreed.
Agreed.
It was Charles Woodson said it best. Hallelujah that it's over. It was kind of like a gut decision by the refs at the time, and then they had to back it up, so they made the rule, I feel. And now a decade later, they're realizing
how stupid it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it just caused a lot of conflict. There had to be a lot of rule changes, rulings on the fields, and lots of replays. I remember that one week there was like 4 disputes in 4 different games about what the Tuck rule was, and the refs just seemed clueless. So for it to be gone, it really helps the sport. So there's been some banter going between owner Kraft and Wes Welker's agents on how Wes Welker left. Who do you believe?
I don't know who to believe, and I don't really care at this point. He's gone, it is what it is, and I think it's time to move on for both sides.
Yep, I agree.
Thirded.
All right, Patriots looking at Eric Winston, solid right tackle, maybe to replace Vollmer. What do you think?
I think whoever is cheaper, which is probably going to be Winston, I think he is a smart choice.
But you wouldn't want the top right tackle in the free agency right now, or?
I think he's going to demand more years and more money, so I think Winston is a serviceable veteran who can get the job done.
Yeah, we want the best, but it has to be reasonable.
All right. Pat signs Fictic to depth at tackle, missed the entire year last year. What do you guys think about that?
I think this is a good move. 1 year, $1 million. Not a lot can go wrong there. He can definitely provide depth and maybe even start a few games here and there.
Give Nate Solder a breather once in a while.
Yeah.
It's nice to have.
Yep.
All right. in other news, Greg Jennings goes to the Vikings. Do you think that's betrayal on his part or just going where the money is?
It's definitely going where the money is, and debatable move by him. This is the last time that he's going to get a big contract, which he certainly got, but now he's going to be playing with Christian Ponder versus Aaron Rodgers, or, it was reported that the Patriots made an offer. I'd rather play with Brady or Rodgers than Ponder, but...
Yeah, it definitely just seems like the money, especially if they're going to like a lower class quarterback, as they did Christian Ponder. But I think it is a good move by the Vikings after they got rid of Percy Harvin. They definitely needed that guy that could step in and definitely be a threat and open up possible play action for Adrian Peterson.
It's a good move by the Vikings, but I don't understand why Jennings would give up the opportunity at a Super Bowl with the Packers or a better team to go to play with the Vikings. I know he gets money, but at a certain point, when you're his age.
Speaking of Adrian Peterson, yesterday was his 28th birthday. Happy birthday, Adrian.
Happy birthday, Adrian.
If you're watching.
Brother to me.
More Patriots news. Brandon Lloyd is released. Might come back for less money. Do you think he'll come back, or do you think it's over?
I don't think he's coming back.
I think he is. I think there's not a lot of want for him right now in the league, and I'd love to see him come back for the minimum. That would be a great move by the Patriots.
I'd like to see him come back, but I feel like he's going to just sign with another team for a higher salary than we're prepared to offer him.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's betrayal that they're gonna cut him and then try to re-sign him for cheaper because things didn't work out quite the way the team and he wanted it. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see. So Elvis Dumerville's fax hasn't left the building. Fax malfunctioned, $20 million versus $8 million, and he had to fire his agent because he is no longer part of the Denver Broncos. Do you think that the NFL should look into this and possibly help out, or do you think they're just going to let him fight it off?
Well, Joe, they have looked into it, and they're not gonna do anything. They said it wasn't serious enough, which is too bad for both Dumerville and the Broncos. Now, a return to the Broncos would be iffy because they already have a $5 million cap hit, and he could probably get a better offer from Baltimore, who's made an offer. He visited Denver and was underwhelmed by their offer, so at this point a return is unlikely.
Okay. So, we're going to move on to local sports. Spring season is starting at DS Trout Tour this week, and we will keep you updated with the games as they come up and the snow finally melts. So next week, we're going to talk about March Madness. It will still be going on, and we'll be doing live coverage and hopefully a bracket up there. It's going to be wild.
With head coach Rick Grady.
Hopefully Mr. Grady will be on. He wasn't on this week. He kind of bailed on us. And then baseball preview. Opening day is April 1st. And we'll give you our pick on how the Red Sox will do and who do we think will be in the team's starting lineup.
Western Kentucky, I'll see you in the Final Four.
Thank you, and I hope to see you next week.
Do you have them winning the whole thing or just